he's going to ask you if, I don't know how he'll ask it, but he'll ask, do you want Kathleen involved in your health care or your finances?
And I'll say no.
If that's how you feel. You can say however you feel.
What do you think?
Well, I want you to express your thoughts. Doesn't matter what I think. Scott and I have worked very hard to take care of you and Dad over the years, and we continue to work hard to take care of you.
Well, I'll just say I'd like Scott and Russ to take care of me.
Okay. And if you want Kathy involved, that's fine. But if you don't want her involved, you have to say that too. Now,
Is she bad news?
well, she didn't tell anybody she was doing this. She just showed up in court with what they call an emergency petition. And she did that back in June of last year. Or was it earlier? It was May, I think. I'd have to look at the date. But she didn't ask you what you wanted, and she didn't talk to Scott or I. We just got a notice from her attorney that's what happened. And the judge did not grant her motion. Instead, he granted an expedited hearing. And that's where Scott and Penny and Connie and I went to court
Yeah?
and heard what the judge had to say, and the judge ordered that we give Kathleen complete access. And I didn't feel comfortable with that because that's what you and Dad had stipulated in your power of attorney. You had said, Scott and Ross share it. We share the authority. And you guys intentionally left Kathleen out of that. So I dragged my heels and I did not want to give up the financials, but I did. I gave them a copy of every transaction that I have helped you guys with since 2013. And they have looked at those transactions, Kathleen and her attorney, and they have plucked out a few of them, and they are maintaining that I have been stealing from you and Dad.
Who maintains that?
Kathy. And that's not true, but that's what they have done. So when we go to court on Friday next week, the judge will ask you a couple of things. The judge will say, do you want Kathleen involved in your health care or your finances? And the judge will probably also ask you, do you want someone else other than Ross and Scott to manage your affairs? And you just tell the judge exactly how you feel about that. Okay? Now, the things that Kathleen has alleged are not true, and they are demonstrably not true. Not true at all.
So what do I tell the judge, that they're not true?
Well, if you believe them to be not true. For example, let me give you a couple examples, okay? In her statement to the court, Kathleen cites the windows and doors that Connie and I are having done. Paying for those doors, I used the American Bankers Association credit card for the first half of it. It was a little over $21,000. And a few days after that charge, I paid it with my own money. Connie and I did a second mortgage on our house. Not a second, we refinanced. So that's where we're getting our money to do our improvements. So I charged that amount and then I paid it. And there will be another charge that's coming through because they're done today, and I will pay that. not using your money, our money, okay? So that is an example of Kathleen pulling a number out and saying he's stealing, without seeing the next line, which says, oh, he's paying. Ross is paying that. You follow me? Does that make sense? So she's trying to convince the judge. You know what she's mad about? She's mad about Scott and I booting her out of that cabin. Because she was squatting up there. She said she was looking for a job, and
that should not be used that way.
No, we don't think so either. We think it's a great place to visit, but not a place to be living. So that's what we're doing.
Could I live with you
We're going to try. We'll see what happens.
right now?
No, can't do anything until after we get done with this, with Kathy.
When is that?
Well, we're going to go to the hearing next Friday.
And what are they going to ask me?
Well, how you feel about somebody else handling your finances, or if you want Kathleen involved in your health care and your financial decisions.
Well, you've handled my finances for years, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say that. It should be good enough.
Can I summarize your current standing?
Yeah?
Okay. So you have an IRA that received a lot of money from Dad's IRA after he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
What's in there right now is a little over $110,000. Okay? About 113 last I checked. You also have a bank account at First International Bank and Trust, and there is $64,000 in that account.
I should write this down.
Well, we can ask this lady we can ask the waitress for a napkin or something.
Could I stay with you tonight?
Not tonight. Because we're going to put up all our shades and clean the house and get it. They've been in there now putting in new windows and doors. So that's done.
I just don't want to stay by myself.
I know. But we come out and visit. For now, we come out and visit you. We'll keep doing that.
I want to stay with you,
I know.
and I can't, huh?
Not right now. We have to wait.
You need something? Like a box? Or another fork? Or is everything okay?
You want this?
Aren't you going to eat it?
No.
I'll work on it.
Okay. Were you in need of your check or?
Not yet.
Okay, just
We're
making
good.
sure. Sorry.
Yeah, we're good. Oh, I know. Let me get a piece of paper so you can write. Okay. Be right back.
And then you know, you can do whatever you want.
There you go. So do you want me to review that again?
Yeah.
Okay. You have an IRA, and that's at Schwab.
I don't want to talk about it.
And there's $113,000 in that. Okay? You have a bank account at First International Bank and Trust. And there's First International Bank and Trust. And there's $64,000 in that one.
Okay.
as of today.
Still on the phone. Okay, what did you decide on?
I guess I'm working the other half of this. She got full and
It filled you up, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well that worked out good then, right?
Worked out great.
Grab your tab.
thank you.
So if you want to, I can like just take a little video of you when you're waiting. I'm gonna.
You have a bank account at First Western Bank and Trust.
No, no. Sherry,
Leave this with you for now.
Thank you very much. And that account right now has $22,500 in it.
22,500.
2,500.
Oh, 2,000. Okay.
There's another bank account at Bell State Bank and Trust in Moorhead. And that one has 1,900 in it. Okay?
Is that? Did I write that accurately?
Yep. You are the beneficiary, the primary beneficiary of Dad's trust. And that, the last 3 months, has had $35,000 a month in income. That can change. But that's what it's been doing, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay? And then your expenses out here at Elk River Senior Living are $6,300, call it $6,400 a month. It's per month.
I don't want to live there.
I know.
Can I live with you?
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll have to figure that out.
I would stay up to myself. I wouldn't be intrusive into your lives.
We know. We know. You were with us for a couple weeks after Dad passed.
So
So, and then you have the lake cabin. At 10 Mile, and that's valued at about $450,000.
is that right? Does that ring a bell? Is that right?
Yep. And then there are many ways to value a holding, an asset like a trust
Yeah.
that generates income on a regular basis. So one way to do that is to take the way the bank does it, the way the First International does it, is they take the previous 3 years and they have the average monthly income over those months times 12, I believe. And then they arrive at a value. So the bank currently values the trust at just short of $500,000.
The money part of it?
That's one way to value an asset like that.
There was no will or nothing.
Values the trust at how much?
A little under 500,000.
That's not what they said. 'Cause they said she wouldn't have nothing.
And let me give you another example.
Is that accurate with the way I wrote it?
I mean, I can't figure out if it's,
So since Scott and I have been actively functioning as your and Dad's power of attorney, that was just towards the end of 2013.
Okay.
Okay. Since 2013, the income to that trust has totaled about $1.1 million.
Man.
Isn't that nice? So you add that,
So that went into that then.
that went into that trust, okay? And Dad had pension and other money that added up to about $36,000 a year. You had income which added up to maybe $8,000 to $10,000 a year, plus the income in the trust. That's your annual available pot. That's what you had to use. And on an average basis, over the last 7 years, your average annual income has been approximately $180,000 a year.
Last 7 years, the annual income.
Yeah, approximately $180,000 a year. I mean, I'm just ballparking numbers now.
180,000.
A year. Per year. So it's out of that pot of money that we've been able to do things like you and Dad buying me a boat and putting it up at the lake, paying the taxes on the cabin.
Should I put that down here?
No, well, you can if you want to, but I just review it. There have been expenses over the years that are just usual and customary and ordinary. Out of that money, you've also been able to buy Scott and Penny new cars.
Oh,
Carter got a pickup truck.
I think
I'll put one pickup for Carter.
and you look at the success of that man.
And how many cars for Carter?
Well, Scott and Penny both got cars. Scott got a truck and Penny got a car.
Oh, Henry brought him up.
There.
Connie and I have both had vehicles. I've had 2 trucks in that time, and Connie has had 2 cars in that time.
And Connie,
Yeah.
2 trucks.
Connie had 2 cars, I had 2 cars, 2 trucks.
You had, I got trucks.
Yeah, then Brent was there and I think that was starting down.
Okay. Carter's school loans were paid off. His college
Then
loans.
when he retires, you'll probably have most wins if you take all your categories. Well, he's already tied.
Kathleen got a new car.
Number one, but not in just officers. It's his trophy.
And
Would I come home with you tonight?
let's finish this. And
I don't like to be alone.
I understand. We do. We have to get through this court thing next week.
But can I
Hearing.
still come home with you tonight?
No, we have to clean up our house, Mom. It's a mess from the windows and doors. You and Dad helped Connie and I finish our home, finished our basement and the deck and the gazebo and all that stuff. And
Connie's basement and gazebo.
Yeah, basement, gazebo, deck. You know, you guys have been really generous with us.
There.
And then in and amongst that, too, has been other gifts, other
Couldn't
spending.
I come home with you tonight?
Not tonight,
Why?
because our house is a mess. We're going to be cleaning it up.
I don't care.
I know, but Mom, we have to be this way. We have to clean it up ourselves.
They either think you're good enough, Joe.
So when we go to
Want to
the
read that?
sure. So when we go to this hearing next week, these are the big items. You know,
Okay.
we were able to remodel the cabin, put new carpet in the cabin, do the bathroom.
Remodel.
Yeah. You know, remember we put the
Cabin.
washer and dryer out there.
I mean, he's had a good ride. Not a bad ride. A lot
So Kathleen has been disgruntled ever since she was asked to leave the cabin. And after Dad died, she popped out and went to the court and filed an emergency guardianship and conservatorship.
What do I do?
Well, do you want Kathleen involved in your health care or your finances? You don't.
No, it should be my own.
Why wouldn't you want her involved?
Because they're my finances.
Okay. And are you comfortable with Scott and I managing that health care and finances? Yeah.
Never had a chance.
And you get this? I mean, these are all things that these aren't everything, but that's,
I want to come home with you.
I know.
Can I do that?
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Oh dear.
You'll be all right.
Oh, I'm going to start crying.
Oh, don't, Mom.
But now they got you can have a
You know, we understand. Scott and Penny and Connie and I, we all understand that a person should be able to grieve. And Kathleen doing this,
Doing what?
creating trouble and trying to intervene in your affairs, is not allowing you to grieve. It's interfering with us and our abilities to grieve. I mean, we miss Dad. We miss him a lot. But Kathleen has done something here that is, we think, vindictive and retaliatory, and it is not something that's in your interest. But she's using her knowledge of
Yeah.
social service system to attack. That's what she's doing. And she has accused,
I might tell her to bug off. Or I will rescind my inheritance statement. What about that? What?
you are going to have an opportunity next Friday to express your wishes to the judge.
To the court?
Yep.
cars he bought from other people that are older.
And I hope you tell them exactly what it is that's on your mind.
And what is it? I've got such a bad memory.
Just answer the questions when they ask them.
He likes the wing car, 'cause he said
Okay.
the car that he
Oh, I hope I can.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah, you
times,
will.
I hope I can.
he told Jeff the other time, he said, you were always good on it. Jeff said, I don't know, I guess. It just felt.
What's the best thing for me to say?
Just a part of that.
What the best thing for you to say is the truth of what's on your mind when you're asked.
Yeah, but I might forget.
Oh, I think you'll have an answer.
You're right, Donnie shot it.
What do I say? I want to live with Ross and Connie?
Well, if that's the way you feel, sure.
The guy like
You'll have an opportunity to speak your mind. Okay?
Casey Kane, I don't know. I think
I
he's.
hope so. I hope so.
Like
So
Tony
when-
always,
When we tell you that you are a millionaire, you know that you are. That's why.
goes
I
back.
am a millionaire?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I really? How did that come about?
Dad left a trust that he always said, you know, he made mistakes at times with investments. But buying those mineral rights out in North Dakota was worked out really well.
Okay.
He can wheel around somebody.
It enables you to be taken care of very, very nicely.
Mineral rights.
Oil. You're a hillbilly, Ma. Beverly Hillbilly.
Okay.
How was it? Good?
Because the track will dry out.
I can pay for it.
That's all right. I got it.
I got a bottle of pop in here. I don't know why I have that.
He said another one's been good. And that's
Well, you probably got some. There's some in your fridge, I think, isn't there?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm gonna have one more sip. You want a little bit more?
No.
Okay.
quite a bit in there.
Could I stay with you tonight?
Not tonight. We have a lot of cleanup to do.
Well, I would stay out of your way.
But he was.
I know, but it would put it put extra strain on us.
A lot of the guys. They're open wheel cars.
Do I have to go back to that place?
Yeah, just for now.
Imagine it is.
I hate that place.
Why?
He was magic on dirt, but
I just do. And I'd like to stay with you.
I know.
he
Couldn't I stay with you?
Well, not tonight. You know, the people that are there, they don't say that you tell them you hate it.
I mean, that's when you.
They
know,
what?
family.
They don't report that you say you hate it there. They don't tell us that.
I don't tell them that.
Why not?
And he was a hell of a good range.
Oh, I don't know. I just don't want to have anything to do there.
I love watching those.
But when you're there, you get along.
They'll have those.
Basically.
Okay.
I mean, they get around.
But I would like to live with you and Connie.
You know,
I know.
The chances are.
It would be,
They go in the corner, it looks like a
It would be nicer to live with people you know full time.
I just like those.
But I can't. Huh?
Not right now.
What's right now?
Well, tonight, and we got to get through the hearing next Friday. See, we're concerned that if you were living with us, and Scott has expressed this too. He's told me. We're concerned that Kathleen would call social services, and we'd be under constant investigation.
Okay. Yeah.
So as long as you're in a a professional environment with people who care, that's what they do. They provide care there, and your medical your medical care is professionally managed. That's Bluestone is the group that comes and sees you. You're warm, you're safe, you sleep, you eat well. We come and visit, we take you out. You know, that's the way it has to be for right now.
Okay.
Because Kathleen then she can't go in there and say, you're being mistreated.
Yeah.
But that's what she would do. We think that's what she would do, is
Yeah.
Because then they had,
because she
well,
is
they race sprint cars up there.
she is really hateful right now.
She is vindictive.
Yeah, or otherwise, you know,
She
this
makes
guy
me
had,
awfully
you know,
mad.
32 Ford with somebody threw a small block Chevy. It was modified. Yeah, they just go
I'm
on
tempted to call her, but I don't know her phone number.
like trash.
Well,
They say, okay, I'll hop it back, you know.
I don't know if she'd answer.
Class B or whatever, they can, you know.
Maybe not.
You couldn't do nothing. All their job was just to get the car home. Right. And then just sprint.
Should we head back? I got to go see some patients.
Compared to all the
Yeah.
whole,
All right.